Hi everyone, hi students, I hope you are doing good. So this video is made for the 4th grade and I mean you. So this video is made specially for you to learn how to use verb to have in the present. So many students have some difficulties using this verb in sentences in English. So let's start. So, as I told you, today's lesson is about verb to have in the present. And let's start very quickly with the affirmative form. So, in the affirmative form, it's very easy and clear. So, this is verb to have in the affirmative form. Have and has. So, when I say have, I use it with I, you, we, and they. So I say I have, you have, we have, and they have. So have has 4 friends. Okay, 4 friends. It's like the subject pronouns. Let's say like there are like friends, and have has 4. I, you, we, and they. Let's see has. Has 3 friends. He, she, and it. So he has. When I say he, I'm talking about male. For example, Ahmed, or brother, or father. So I'm talking about male, not female. When I say she, so she has, I'm talking, for example, about Aya, about Maryam, about, okay, and for example about sister or mother. So she has, or my mother has. It has. So it, when I say it, I can talk about animals and objects. So the cat or the chair or the house. So I'm talking about an animal or an object. So verb to have in the present is have and has. Have with I, you, we, and they, and has with he, she, and it. Okay, let's see some examples. I have a nice bicycle. So here the subject is I. So I'm talking about myself. That's why I say have, not has. I have a nice bicycle. 2. She has 2 brothers and a sister. So here, as you see, we have the subject pronoun, which is she. She has. She has. I'm talking about her. Sorry. Number 3. They have great parents. They, so I'm talking about them. About, for example, two children or 2 people. They, or more, maybe 2 or more. They have great parents. 4. Jannat has a cat and a dog. So here when we say Jannat, I can replace it or change it with she. That's why we say has. Jannat. So Jannat has, not have, a cat and a dog. Number 4. Amin has a fever and a cold. So the same thing here, we can change Amin with he. He. I can say Amin has or he has. Number 6. My grandparents have a big house. My grandparents here, I can change it with they. They have a big house. So we don't say my grandparents have, because grandparents are in the plural. So my grandparents have a big house. Now let's move to the negative form. So here we are going to see verb to have in the negative form. So the negative form is easy, like in the affirmative form we say just don't have, or doesn't have. And we use, of course, don't have with I, you, we, and they. And of course, I say I don't have, you don't have, we don't have, and they don't have. Doesn't have, we use it with he, she, and it. She doesn't have, he doesn't have, it doesn't have. Okay, we don't say he don't have, but we say he doesn't. He doesn't have, she doesn't have, it doesn't have. So here, as I told you, we can replace, for example, Amin with he, or Asma with she, or the cat, or an object, or an animal with it. So let's see some examples. Number 1, I don't have a nice bicycle. So here I'm talking about myself. I don't have a nice bicycle. She doesn't have brothers. So here I'm talking about her. She doesn't have brothers. I'm talking about a girl or a woman. 3, they don't have a car. So here I'm talking about two or more, two people or more. They don't have a car. Number 4, Asma doesn't have a cat. So Asma, I can say she, of course. She doesn't have a car or a cat, sorry. Or Asma doesn't have a cat. Muhammad doesn't have a sister. Muhammad doesn't have. And of course I can say he doesn't have. The last one, my grandparents don't have a big house. So we say don't have because grandparents is plural. So grandparents, we can say they don't have a big house. Now we are going to move to the last part, which is about the question, which means the interrogative form. Here we are going to see how do we use verb to have in a question. So this is verb to have in a question. Do, have means do, for example, plus the subject pronoun. Do you have? Or do I have, do we have, and do they have. I will show you. Next, does. Does he have, or does she have, or does it have? Let's start with do and have. Do you have? So this is what I say in a question. I say, do I have, do you have, do we have, and do they have. So here I'm asking, it is a question. For example, do you have a car? Do you have a brother? So here I'm asking you. Let's see does. Does he have? Does she have? Does it have? So we change only does and do. We use do with I, you, we, and they. And we use does with he, she, and it. So the verb do is just a helping verb here. It's just a helping verb which helps us to ask a question. So does he have, does she have, and does it have? For example, does your sister have a car? So I'm asking you, or does she, does he? So we don't never say do, she. So does. Let's see some examples. Do I have something on my head? So here I'm asking you, do I have something on my head? Number 2, does she have a headache? Does she have a headache? So we start with the helping verb. We do or does. 3, do they have cars? Do they have cars? I'm asking you, for example, about your parents. Do they have cars or brothers? 4, does Miriam have a cat? So I can change or replace Miriam with she. Does Miriam have a cat, or does she have a cat? Number 5, does Ayub have a cold? Does Ayub or does he? Does he have a cold, or does Ayub have a cold? Number 6 and the last one, do your grandparents have a big house? So we don't say does because grandparents is plural. Do your grandparents have a big house? Now I'm going to give you 2 exercises. You are going to do them at home. Okay, so these are the exercises. So I will give you some exercises. Exercise number 1, write has or have. So you have 12 sentences and try to write has or have. Number 2, write doesn't have or don't have, and you have 6 sentences. Good luck, and don't forget to do the homework. Goodbye.